Well, good evening. As usual, the major media is focusing on inconclusive stories, or if you will, uh, stories about tigers mauling people in Western countries, in the zoo, and so on. Now, um, actually, that's not too far off because I think we all live in a zoo by now. But I wanted to share with you some more insightful things, perhaps. Um, Ray McGovern had written a little piece a while back, a couple of weeks back, and of course, uh, as usual, he is concerned with the rise of fascism in this country. And I don't take that word lightly because, where my own heritage, where I come from, we actually fostered the rise of fascism, and so um, I have a little bit of history behind me, and I probably know more than most Americans how it got started. And so there was this brilliant um, little remark by Ray McGovern, which actually mentioned an ordinary person, ordinary German writer, much forgotten now. The manuscript was found by his son in 1999 when the father was already dead, and it became essentially a great big read all over Europe because it explained from the viewpoint of an ordinary German citizen what actually happened during the rise of fascism in Germany and how it came about very slowly. And as McGovern points out, creeping, it came in creepingly. It didn't happen all at once. So from this author, the name is Hafner, won't mean much to you, but the book is called Defying Hitler. And the author of that book is Sebastian Huffer. And I can post a link to it a little bit later on my video. In any case, there are many insights in this little memoir of this older person who died at the age of 90, basically escaped the Nazis because he he was not Jewish, but he could see what was coming, and so he took some consequential actions. And just wanted to share a little bit with you from this book. So, the essential question, of course, is the big lie technique and how it worked. So how did this Hafner guy, the author, deal for so long with this menacing force in front of him? And this is what he has to say in his writings. What saved me was my nose. I have a fairly well-developed figurative sense of smell, or to put it differently, a sense of worth or worthlessness of human, moral, political views and attitudes. Most Germans unfortunately lack the sense almost completely. The cleverest of them are capable of discussing themselves stupid with their abstractions and deductions when just using their noses would tell them that something stinks. And, I would have to add that is probably very true for Americans as well at this point in time. Only most of them don't follow their noses, but they follow Britney Spears and American Idol on television. They still fall for anything. After all that, I do not see that one can blame the majority of Germans who in 1933 believed that the Reichstag's fire was the work of the communists. What one can blame them for, and what shows their terrible collective weakness of character clearly for the first time during the Nazi period, is that this settled the matter. The Reichstag fire, that is, or in other words, the 9/11 event here. With sheepish submissiveness, the people accepted that as a result of the fire, each one of them lost what personal freedoms and dignity was guaranteed to them by the Constitution, as though it followed as a necessary consequence. In short, what should have been a strong political and moral opposition to the prevailing policies meekly acceded to the destruction of their country's institution of law and social harmony. The result in society was a clear leaning towards the dynamic, muscular policies advocated by the Nazis, and a seething anger and distrust with the cowardly treachery of their leadership. Many lessons to be learned from this book, and we should keep speaking out while we still can. Good night.